In this video, I'm going to teach you 5 mind-blowing tips that are going to help you increase your sales. You can use this as a beginner or as someone that's been in the industry for 1, 2, 5 years. Tip number 1 is get great with people, not great with product knowledge. When you get hired in, normally they make you go through test upon test upon test on the core of the brand that you're selling. And as a salesperson, that's what we're taught to believe, is that the only thing we need to be working on is the actual product. But here's what I'll tell you. If you can take the time that you spend on product knowledge and place that on people knowledge, the amount that you can succeed is so much further. It's not a product business, a people business. And the beautiful thing is that when you get good with people, you build a skill set that you can take anywhere with you. You can't take the Ford F-150 into the Ram 1500, but you can take the knowledge of working good with people and take that anywhere that you went. Tip number 2 is going to be learn to ask questions. The best closers aren't shoving things down your mouth, continuously trying to, hey, look this, hey, look that, hey, look this, hey, look that. They're asking key questions that give them insight as to what the customer is relating to, what their pain points are, what necessities they have, what are wants, what are needs. They learn to ask key questions that are going to help them move the sale forward. Hey, out of curiosity, you told me that you really needed this car to get to work. Let me ask you, what were to happen if you didn't leave here with a vehicle? I mean, what would you be subjected to? Just learning how to ask key vital questions are going to help you tremendously in your sales career. Tip number 3 is become confident. And you become confident through becoming competent and learning what to do. The 3 main biggest pieces of advice to build your confidence within the car sales career would be, number 1, dress sharp, right? And that's not really being competent, but that's giving the illusion of confidence. Dress for the job that you want, not the job that you have. Dress, in a nice suit and tie, dress professional. Don't come in with, beat up shorts, a polo, not doing your hair, but dress confident and feel well about how you dress, okay? So that's tip number 1. Tip number 2, this is where really competence plays a role, but master the road to the sale. Continuously be improving and master the way that you move yourself from beginning to end in the road to the sale. So know what's the first step. Okay, I meet the customer. Second step is, okay, I'm asking questions to figure out what's the best fit. Third step is, okay, now that I got the right fit, now that I'm presenting the solution. Now number 4, now that I'm presenting the solution in car sales specifically, I'm doing a test drive. I'm building buy-in emotion, right? So building emotion through buy-in. So now that I got them on the test drive, now it's where are they at? A trial close them. And lastly, it's closing the deal down, and obviously there's taking care of the customer. I have a link to a video that I did on the road to the sale that I'll put up here or up here, however it works. You can go watch that video and that'll help you understand kind of what the road to the sale is in more depth. That's going to be, tip number 2 within confidence is master the road to the sale and learn how to overcome objections. And really this is where confident, me personally, was built. But if you knew exactly where to take every single customer, and if you knew exactly how to handle every single objection, how much more confident would you be when dealing with customers? I mean, you'd be so confident you wouldn't know what to do with yourself. So those are the 3 tips to getting more confident. Dress sharp, know the road to the sale, and know how to overcome objections. Tip number 4 is become a good negotiator. Look, in car sales, there's the guy that sells 60 cars a month but makes 10 grand a month because he gives every car away. Or there's the salesman that makes gross on his deals by bringing value, asking good questions, and knowing how to negotiate and close when it comes time to it. So me personally, when I first started, I sold anywhere from 15 to 25 cars a month, but I was making anywhere from 3 to 4 grand a month. That's because I didn't know how to negotiate. I didn't know how to ask questions. But then over time, my last month in the business, I sold 18 cars. And I want you to keep this in mind, this was when COVID was going on, so I was only working 3-4 days a week, 1 day on, 1 day off. But I was so good that I sold 18 cars, less cars than when I first got started, but I made anywhere from 21, 22, 25 grand a month during that COVID period because I knew how to negotiate. So that's tip number 4. Then tip number 5 is learn to prospect. The guy that can close, the guy that can ask questions, the guy that's confident, the guy that's great with people, and he knows how to prospect, you just increase your earning potential to 5x, 6x. I mean, you can make 500 grand a year, right? So if you know how to prospect, you're able to consistently bring in traffic without having to rely on your dealership to do so. So I'll break it all back down so that way you guys have takeaways to leave. And if you haven't been writing notes, I suggest that you do. But number one, get great with people, right? Great book to do that is How to Build Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. Absolutely one of the best books in influence. If you only read that one book, I promise you'll build a skill set of being able to get with people that's almost unparalleled. So number one is get good with people. Number two, you have 2 ears, one mouth, learn how to ask questions. Number three is become confident through dressing sharp, mastering the steps to the sale, and learning how to overcome objections. Number four is get a good negotiator. Don't be an order taker, so that way you can work less hours and make more money. And number five is learn how to prospect. With those 5 things, I promise you, you will make $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 a year. If I were to add a bonus tip, always be learning, always be learning, always be growing, because that's what's going to help you reach that next level. It's kind of like a shortcut, right? Figure out from people that have gone where you want to go and then implement that within your game. So I'll have number one, subscribe. The subscribe will be somewhere up here. So that way you can continue and the YouTube guys can continue to feed you this type of content. But number two, click on one of the videos up here so you can continue to expand your knowledge and continue to grow.